Hey everyone, this is Ed with NetGuys, another tech video, this time on Google's Associate Cloud Engineer exam. Mine expired, but I felt like I just won the lotto because I got an email from Google inviting me to participate in a beta of the cloud engineering exam, or I should just say ACE exam. I wanted to go over the current Associate Cloud Engineer exam because I think that is very helpful, and I think that the current one will help and prepare you to be able to take on this new exam as they make changes to it in the future. I don't know when that is, so I don't represent Google or anything like that, but and I don't have any inside information either. I just wanted to go over here on the ACE exam itself. Currently you see that it assesses your ability to set up a cloud solution environment, deploy and implement a cloud solution, configure access and security, plan and configure a cloud solution, ensure successful operation of a cloud solution. And that's pretty general, but about a 2-hour exam, 50 to 60 multiple choice and multiple select questions. You get to you can, in fact, it says here you can do an online proctored exam, so you can actually go online and do it now and schedule it out, as well as going in and doing a live exam and going over and looking at the exam guide and going through the topics that it covers. You're learning how to create projects and accounts, setting up a resource hierarchy, knowing about organizational policies, in particular accounts, managing users and groups, billing information, good to know. This is all some of the basics for being a cloud engineer. And certainly knowing some of the basic services, like Cloud SQL, BigQuery, some of the items where you would want it to be, where you'd have to configure an account to access resources, for example, or you'd have to be able to load data, for example, in some of these data storage options. It's good to get some practical experience as well as knowing the different load balancing services that you have available to you. I focused down here on 3.2 Google Kubernetes engine resources. So back on the first exam, I remember I learned from A Cloud Guru. They had a great course on there that really covered the Google ACE exam at the time. But there was one thing that stood out to me, which was really know Kubernetes well. And the very first time, this was years back, I did the Google ACE exam. I failed it, and I realized a lot of the questions were about Kubernetes. Not the entire test, but there was a chunk in there at that time. I don't know if it evolved and everything, but certainly it is good to know Kubernetes. It's good to know, nodes, pods, networking for it, certainly how to set up replicas and autoscale, basically. So those will be important pieces to know. Looking through and focusing on some of the resources and everything, knowing about like VMs and certainly how to replicate them. That would be good. Being able to do snapshots, just managing the images as well as any accounts that would work with these services as well. I think that would be good to know. All these items here that I'm going through on this, I think the cloud engineering learning path, that is very good too. In fact, I'll include a link for it. It's where you can go and do some actual labs or go through some courses and learn particular pieces and really get them down. I think having that hands-on practical experience is good. If you've already been working with Google Cloud, then this exam should be straightforward for you. You should be able to conquer the basics, no problem at all. But I think going through and doing a refresher on some of these quests, these courses, the labs might get requested of you, say as an engineer, where you're suddenly given something like autoscale replica, provision, an agent. Knowing about autoscaling and how autoscaling works is really beneficial. Going through, getting started with Google Kubernetes, getting to know the core services, scaling and automation, etc. I think the stress here is in this time around is to really just have some initial hands-on. It's not going to be enough to just sit there and look at some multiple choice questions and go, oh, okay, that one. Being able to, having worked with it, being able to know certain things that might come up or nuances like, okay, this isn't in the GUI, but now I have to actually open up the shell and I have to go and do something there. That's an important distinction. Some options are only configurable through the shell. You'd be looking all day through, the GUI trying to figure out okay, how am I going to do this? I'm excited though. I'm excited to participate in this beta. Unfortunately, it's invite only. It's ending soon. I can't share a link or do anything like that, but I haven't seen anything else on it yet, so I don't know how many other people were invited to this thing. So it was a lot of fun. I don't know how much more I can say about it, but it gave me some hope. It was probably the funnest exam that I've done, and it was certainly challenging too. It covered a wide variety of skills, and luckily I was able to figure out most of it. So, but again, I don't know what I can cover on it exactly, but certainly let me know in the comments what more you would like to know about this, what your experiences might be. Certainly if you're in part of this program, reach out, let me know. I'd love to know your experience. Otherwise, good luck. I plan to do several more Google videos to actually cover some of the topics that I personally get to work on from time to time. So I think it would be good to share some of that knowledge with you. Otherwise, until then, take care.